Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the 10-month update for my Pan Those palettes for the 2020 year. I am very excited about this particular month of updating because I have made some, what I think is pretty lovely progress. Before I show you where my palettes currently stand, let me refresh your memory on what my palettes look like at the 9-month mark. Now that you've been brought up to speed where I was last month, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what my Lorac Pro Palette 1 looks like after 10 months of usage. And here's what my Cargo Summer in the City palette looks like after 10 months of usage. All right, let's dig in and talk about my Lorac palette first. So I really went after it with Mauve. It basically was the only crease shade that I was using throughout the entire month. Once I realized that I could use gold with Mauve and then also Summer Love from the Cargo palette with Mauve, I sort of just was like, let's do this. Let's see what a full month of commitment looks like. And I am really thrilled with the outcome. I didn't realize until I watched my 9-month footage how much progress I actually made on this shade. And I'm really happy with the way I was able to get usage because I basically have been just swirling my brush in there to pick up product, which is why the pan is so wide. It is going to cause me problems now because it is pretty thin in certain areas. So I'm going to start concentrating on not just swirling, but going in at particular points to try to get product. I definitely think that if I were to be as dedicated to Mauve in the month of November, that I would likely finish it off. And I think I want to do that. I'm not committing myself fully to it, but it really is right now a good go-to shade, and it's helping me get usage out of gold, which has like a little bit more pan showing, and I've sort of leveled off some of the like general top area here, which has been nice. And then it's also helped me make some pretty steady progress in the Cargo palette. I did end up using light pink a bunch, but didn't get it quite finished off. What is remaining in there is the last of the shade that I had pulled from my dismantled Too Faced Matte Eye palette. That's why I didn't repress any more product in there. I will go ahead and show you right now what that shade is that I'm gonna bring in once I have finished off, like in the next couple of days, what's currently in light pink. This is the next cream shade that I am bringing in. To be honest, I don't exactly remember where this is coming from. I think it's coming from an e.l.f. palette that I only kept like a couple of shades from, but I could be entirely wrong on that. I, for some reason, didn't write where it was coming from, but I'm just trying to pick another shade that I think in the next 2 months I could work through. So I'm going to keep doing my same system where I'm going to scrape out product from here and repress it into the light pink shade just so I'm not taking out so many palettes every day to create an eye look. It does get a little bit cluttered when I have to pull out 3 eyeshadow palettes to use, but that's what's going on there. I also decided like at the end of this month, I was like, wow, I feel like I'm really close to hitting pan in Sable. Like, why don't I go ahead and do a few days of doing looks? And I did. After like the second day I went to go use Sable in my crease, I hit like a very microscopic piece of pan. So then the last couple of days I kept using it and I've hit more noticeable pan on this shade. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's realistic for me to get Sable finished off by the end of this year, knowing how it does take me a lot longer to use up matte shades in these types of palettes. So the Lorac mattes are lovely, but they're pretty hard pressed and I don't need a lot of pigment to get the color on that I want, but I'll keep using it and just seeing how far I get. I'm not ruling out taking it out of the palette and keeping it because I do really like it as a matte brown, and I find with other palettes, the matte browns that are dark like this can easily become too dark for my complexion, and or they're difficult to like blend out. They get patchy, and I don't have that problem in either respect with this shade. So it is something special that if it's not gone and the rest of the palette is looking pretty worked down, I might just try to take it out and keep it. I've basically given up on wanting to put effort into Garnet. I just don't think it's that great of a shade. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I do like pewter, but I just have gotten really into a matte crease over the last, I'd say 9 months. So it hasn't been as much of a focus as it used to be when I was first pulling this palette out, but we'll see. I did say I wanted to try to use this as a lid color, and I never did give it a try because I got so sucked into mauve, so I would like to accomplish that, at least testing it out in the next month. We will go ahead and briefly talk about my Cargo palette because this has really been the neglected child this year, but I put a lot of effort into Summer Love. It basically was my go-to lid color, and I've made pretty significant progress on this. My plan is to keep on trucking and having this be my go-to lid color until I finish it off, and then I probably will move over to trying to use a little bit more of rosé and maybe trying to do some Bike Ride. To be honest, I probably will be less inclined to want to make those switches to the other lid colors until mauve is used up in the Lorac palette and this shade is used up. Once those two things are gone, my sort of go-to look for the past month will disappear, and I'll have to create a new go-to look, which will be good because at least with the Cargo palette, I will say that it's pretty easy to get pan because the shadows are pretty powdery and I do work a lot of product onto my eye to get the color pigment that I want. I would also, in an ideal world, like to try to connect the two pieces of pan in Pool Party. I don't really use the Cargo palette much these days for crease colors because I'm really liking, like I had said, a matte in my crease, but I do like that I have been getting some use out of this palette, and it has given me a better appreciation and understanding of what the Cargo palettes are. Spoiler alert, I don't think they're as great as the Lorac palettes, but it has been good to really immerse myself in using this. So that is my 10-month update. I very much appreciate you tuning in. As always, if you have any inspirational looks to share with me, please leave them in the comments below and I would love to test them out. I'm really looking forward to seeing what another very steady month of usage brings. I hope that you enjoyed seeing my update today and spending some of your day with me, and I'll talk to you in my next video real soon.